All right, thanks everybody. So here we are, going to go over the quantifying financial cost surveys that you will be asking your schools in your states. This is the two documents that I have got up on my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen that you will be using. So, on the checklist for quantifying the financial costs and benefits, this Word document, just so you guys know, is just mostly a checklist for you, the auditor, the person who's going to be asking the questions of the school district, so that you know what to collect, and it's more or less just a piece of paper so that you know, oh yes, I got this survey done, oh I got these files, oh I have everything, so that when you ship that off to me in an email, I get it all, and that way I know what you have and you know what you have, and hopefully we won't lose everything. So going through this sheet, it says IPM Continuum Survey. I will go to that document in a second. All right, so he's muted, but I don't know what to do with you, Fudd. Call Joe. IPM cost survey is the other part of the Excel file. I will go over the Excel file separately with you guys. All right, campus inspections. These are when you go and you look at a facility, a full school IPM campus inspection. When you do the full campus inspection, you don't have to go to every school in their school district building in their district. But for instance, if you were going to XYZ high school, you would inspect the entire high school, not just the kitchen or a break room. You're going to do a full building walkthrough. You will take that data, whatever 3 campuses you choose to do for that school system, and put that into the IPM calculator. That is the IPMcalculator.com website. Also, you'll review the district pesticide applications. You will also either have to physically look at the 2013, 2014 IPM records, pest control records, whatever they call them for that school year, and then also 2014, 2015. When you look at that stuff, you need to track all of their pesticide application. What was that? Okay. Y'all are killing me. But anyways, you will at least look at everything there. What you'll see in the next box where it says obtain copies of work orders for pest management, pest control, or other markers, this is basically the document review from 2013, 2014, or 2014 and 2015. For some of you, Dawn and Fudd, because I don't think, and Mike Walvogel, you guys probably have done this either on doing a school IPM demonstration project, IPM Star, or something else, going in and looking at it. Paul and Wizzy, I can go over specifically with you guys, or for anybody who's watching this on YouTube, I can go over what you're really needing to do for this section. Next item on the checklist is obtain a copy of the pesticide stored on school property and used on school property. All right. Who needs to mute?
I took care of it. That was Mike.
Okay. Wow. All right. Storing pesticides. What I need really here, or what you're going to need, is a list of all of the insecticides and herbicides that are used on school property. Again, this is something if you're going through their records, you can make a list, but if they've got an approved insecticide, herbicide list, you can collect that. But double check to make sure that what they say they're using, they are using, and if something is popping up in their records that you don't see on their list, you do need to make a note of that. Okay, the other thing is obtaining a copy of the full maintenance and operations budget, and then possible contracts. When we ask them, and you'll see this in the survey, you're going to ask them specific questions about their maintenance and operations budget. But we might not be able to glean everything from the survey. So, for instance, when I did this with Plano ISD, I got their full budget for the maintenance and operations department. In that budget, it shows plumbing, it shows electrical, it shows the HVAC, but it also has the custodial contract and the grounds contract. Right now, what Blake and I are saying is send us everything. And the reason being is it's easier to collect everything and then sift through it than not get everything and then have to go back and ask. So I'm really trying to get as much as possible. And then the last box on this for the outsourced pest control and landscape contractors, again, not just what they're spending, but what is in the contract. And the reason I say that is on the custodial contract, we were looking at the one for Plano, and it only says to do deep cleaning during summer and explains how they do deep cleaning. Again, we want to know what they're getting for the money they are spending so that we can turn around and try to turn that into a formula. So that's the Word document. Any questions? Okay. All right, so moving right along. Aren't you guys glad I moved right along? All right. On this one, you see two different things in this Excel spreadsheet. The first one is the IPM continuum survey. Jean-Jacques, you'll be pleased to know that Dr. Bennett was able to do the conditional formatting on everything on this one. So when you are looking at this particular survey, total possible points for the survey is 42. As you enter buttons down here, so say on the no calendar based spraying, if you put a 1 here and take that 1 off there, you will notice that the score changes up here in this top section. You will also notice that if you put the 1 in the left column versus the right column, it already triggers that this is a red. What this means is when you are interviewing your school personnel, you're going to be looking at your laptop and you're going to ask these questions. If you say, so Joe, tell me, pest control staff at your district often apply insecticides to baseboards or hallways indoors? And Joe goes, yes. Well, you put the 1 here. Joe answers no, you put the 1, well, when I say that, you put the 1 there, and you'll see the green comes back. So this is a trigger for you, the question person, the interviewer, of if you get a red, you already know that their score is going to not be at 42. If they answer everything correctly on this continuum survey, it comes up with a total score of 42, and everything would be in green under the sections A, B, C, D, E, and F, G, and H. If not, it will turn red. So this is just a trigger for you. Indoor pesticide applications in your district are often performed on a scheduled basis. Now, the trigger on this, for instance, that particular one, if they're doing fire ant control, But we try to resolve that with the question that's in line number 18. Insecticides in your district are only applied in response to identify pest problem, not to prevent something that is not present. It's a little tricky. The only one we had troubles with was fire ants, and I'm just leaving it as B, and if they don't get it, it's okay. A 41 is not going to overwhelm the score. But what this tells you is if they were to get a score, say if their total score over here was a 24, say that was a 24 and not a 42, that would tell you IP on the IPM continuum, they're probably about a halfway there. Again, as the interviewer, this gives you ideas of where you may need to work with the school system. But these all have, they're easy to go questions. Oh, everybody looked at these questions when we originally set them out, so there's nothing unusual about them. The second tab on this Excel spreadsheet says School District Cost Survey. Everywhere you see one of these blue boxes, it is an expandable blue box. In other words, as you type, it will expand in so that you don't have to worry about running out of space or anything like that. So you would put your name of the school district, the person completing the survey, not you, but who you've talked to. So again, if I was interviewing Plano ISD, I'd put Plano here. I'd put my interviewee as David Lewis. And then his email address. And as you go down, then as David's job title, his job title is Environmental Coordinator. How long has he been in that position? 15 years. We put in his job description. Then what's your student enrollment? Right now they're around 53,000 students. How many campuses? We've got 85. Gosh, I'm trying to think without looking at my cheating on my spreadsheet. I think they've got like 90 some odd buildings. That's probably more. And I know that their square footage is over 500 million square feet. Then we would go through very specifically. Approximately how many people are currently devoted to pest control operations in this district? Right now, Plano would have 4. So if I put David, I know he spends about 5%. If I put Sean, I know he's at 100%. Mark's, oh, he's at 100. And you get the deal. We can add more if you decide you need to do this. What this is going to do, just so you guys know, the reason I'm trying to collect as much data on number 8 is so that we can possibly come up with a formula of if you have X amount of square footage and you have X amount of people, what does it take to cover? Because we always get asked that question. How many guys does it need to do in-house pest control? Then if there are anybody, is there anybody else within their maintenance department that helps? So really, this is plumbing, this is carpentry, this is everybody else in the department. So if you are interviewing, for instance, on Plano, they have close to 150 people in their M&O department. So I'd put 150. Now these start to be radio function bit. Does your district have a preventative maintenance program? It should be preventative maintenance program. If you click no, notice that the answer box goes away. If you click yes, then you can go in and they can explain, well, what does that mean? Well, we have 3 guys who go around and look at each building every day. Okay, you can type in what it looks like. Again, which of the following best describes your outside contractors for pest control? Do not use an outside contractor. You hit that, and while these buttons don't quite go away, all the associated questions do. I unselect that, so it's either a spot purchase or we use them for only outdoor, or we use a combination of. Then we see, do you or somebody else walk through with the pest control provider? No. So they let the pest control guy turn themselves loose. Again, this gives you, okay, if yes, who does this? How long does it take? Is there an hourly wage that is set with that? How satisfied are you with your current pest management contract? If they say very satisfied, again, notice the button goes away. If they come down here, it's once they hit mostly dissatisfied, completely dissatisfied, one of these two, if they answer D or E, you have a chance to put in information. If not, you can always manipulate data and you can make some notes. Do you have additional monies appropriated specifically for pest control beyond your pest control contractor budget? They could say yes, and it could be maybe $20,000 for termites. Maybe it's for a urban wildlife program. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's just a matter of, if they do, we want to make sure that you're collecting as much information as possible. Okay. On number 14, does the IPM program have access to vehicles provided by the school district? Yes. Then they've got information. They don't get any vehicles? You'll see that all those questions go away. If they do, we want to know make, model, year, how much is it used for IPM activity, and all the other stuff. The reason being is Blake, what he will do is then do some modeling on depreciation, vehicle, all that kind of stuff, just so that we have that information as well. As far as pest management equipment, this is sprayers, caulk guns, tools, drills, B&G sprayers, I mean, vacuums, anything that they use for their program. We are trying to figure out what they have, when did they purchase, how much did they purchase for, and if they don't even have come up with useful life in years, you can leave that blank and we can figure that out. For instance, a B&G sprayer, if it's a good sprayer, it could last a few years. If it's a cheap plastic one, it might yet last a year. What percentage of the M&O budget is devoted to sports and athletic field maintenance? This could be in their M&O budget, or it can be broken out in athletics. What we need here is, where are they spending the money on their athletics program? Because again, if athletics is covering either part of the pest control, they're doing all of the turf and grounds maintenance, maybe they're covering the concession stands. Just trying to figure out what part of that, because you may ask for the M&O budget and all of the athletics field is covered under athletics. Well, and you're going to need to know that as well. Then, different from athletics, number 17 is approximately what percentage of your pest control budget is devoted to other landscape pest management. So playgrounds, parks, front of school buildings, gardens, any of that. Where does that come from? Because now, especially if there's a school garden, that funding could be coming from a principal's budget, that funding could be coming someplace else. Do you use a work order system? Hopefully they all do, but again, if they say no, everything goes blank. If they say yes, then who does their packaging? And then also, what are they doing with it? Do they use it for end-of-year reporting, budget planning, evaluating the effectiveness of their IPM program? They may not, but they may. We just want to know if they're using it to more than just turning in a work order. And the reason, again, is how can we make this easier for them? I want to know what they're doing and what they're struggling with. Does your district have a system for keeping track of pesticide-related complaints? Yes or no? No? Then it's blank. Yes? How is it? Is it an email to the maintenance director? Is it posted on a school chat room? Do they throw it up on Facebook and Twitter? Okay, we just want to know if there's any complaints, and if so, what are they complaining about? Number 20 is a little interesting, but it's, again, we all know custodial is part of the IPM program. If custodial isn't doing their portion, which is cleaning, emptying trash, doing some of the deep cleaning stuff, moving things, then we also know that that's a great place for bugs to hide. So what I want to know, and especially if they contract out their custodial, how many people are devoted to custodial? What's the average wage? How many supervisors? All of the things, and really where it says number E, what are their responsibilities? Kind of get an idea of how often are they in the classrooms, how often are they emptying trash, do they serve breakfast in the classroom? How are they dealing with that? Because again, we want to see how we can track on the pests going forward. Number 21, how many people are devoted to food service? Okay, again, could be a completely different department, completely different budget. Child and nutrition department. Food prep, food service, what do they do? I mean, are they in charge of cleaning kitchen equipment? Sometimes they are not. They only clean the countertops. They don't do deep cleaning. They may not clean the walk-in. So find out, what about the custodial closet, all that kind of stuff. Then as far as the drains go, because we all know about nasty floor drains, this is just Blake and me trying to figure out, is anybody else putting in these drain guards, trap guards, or any other devices installed to help reduce pests in the floor? We are finding more and more schools in Texas are doing it. I'm just kind of curious to see if anybody else in the country is doing this. Number 22, because this is a big hot one. How much time do teachers spend dealing with pests? The reason I ask that is sometimes there are school districts that they want the teachers to do pest control. So let's find out if they're making them do this. Okay, number 23, do you train teachers about IPM? If you don't, notice it all goes away. If you do, it all's there. What are the number of complaints via phone, email, or other contact about pest control program per year? That's just, again, another one. We've asked it, but I want to make sure we're getting as much detail as possible. Are you aware of any allergic reactions to bee stings by students and staff in the past 2 years? We do bee stings separately, and then are you aware of any allergic reactions to pesticides? I almost put bee stings and fire ants, but because this is a national survey, I stuck with just bee stings. If there's something else, you guys are more than welcome to elaborate. You're more than welcome to give me as much information as possible. Again, this is number 27 is about notifications to parents, teachers, students, posting, what do you do, all of that. Okay, I come to the bottom of this survey, and Rosemary, there's a reason you're on this call. I don't know what to put in my XXX box over here. I know I'm supposed to put something under my award number, but I don't know what award number I'm supposed to put.
I'll have to get that from Lou's.
Okay, if you do that for me, because I don't know if it's, since it's an enhancement, do I go under y'all's bigger USDA number?
I think so.
Okay, if you'll just
Yeah,
find
it's
out.
only one award number.
That was the only thing I haven't put on this, and I'm like, I know I'm supposed to do that, but I don't know what number I'm supposed to use.
Rosemary will forward me the number. I've got the complete citation for you that I'll give you.
Thank you. Okay. So you guys, that's the only other thing is, and that's a new federal requirement, correct?
It's not new. NIFA's wanted it for years. Few people ever did it.
Okay, well, I'm making
15
sure,
more.
making sure we do it. Okay. Once you fill out this survey, everyone, you will take this survey, and I'm going to just demonstrate right here while you can see. You're going to go save as, and you would save it as Plano, ISD, Continuum, Survey, whatever, and then hopefully your last name. What that does is it will then, you'll have your original survey that you can open up, and then you'll have your completed survey, so that you'll always have a blank survey. And if you need a blank, we will always have the blanks so that I can send them to you for whatever reason. Or if you need to write over it, you can do that as well. But that way, when you send me the information in an email, you can attach both documents, and they'll have the school district name and your name, and then that way I'll know, and I'll start building folders. So that's pretty much it. I'm opening the meeting to questions, comments.
Janet, scroll back up to that question you asked about stings.
Okay, hang on. Whoop. This one, are you aware of any allergic reactions to bee stings?
You might want to just change that to stings, period. Some people are allergic to wasps, which I swell up like a balloon. Some are allergic to bees, and some are allergic to fire ants. And if you just put stings there, you open it up to whatever stinging insect problem you have.
All right, I will fix that. And those watching, we can update that, or you can update yours. So if I just put stings, that makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Wall Vogel, does that make sense to you? You can nod your head. I can't see you, but you can nod your head. All right. Anything else?
I'm just wondering if stings and bites, or if you want to even complicate it that much, because there are venomous bites that kiddos get occasionally at school.
Yeah, this one isn't as problematic as some of the others. I just go with stings and just say, you know, if there was, did you come up with a solution? Actually, what it is, it's the fishing question. You had a problem, how'd you solve it?
Right.
All right. Anything else? So, the timeline on this. I believe my extension has been approved, Mr. LaForest. I think that they did that on Friday. I can't it was kind of back and forth. But what I would like is to have everyone collect as much data from the schools by December of 2015. If I can have your school data by the end of December, that will give us time to collect the data, massage the data, interpret the data so that I can have a report by spring.
Can you make that January 31st instead of December?
For you, maybe.
I'll send you my calendar.
Dude, I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but that's okay. But yes, if you need, it's just, but more or less, it's, I don't want it to linger forever.
No, I want a deadline. I don't mind that, but I'm taking off December 16th for what little vacation I've got this year, and it's pretty much up to my ears till then. I will see what I can do, though. I can probably
Okay.
get one or two before then.
Yeah, one's all you need. One school system is all you need.
But very possible it could be done then.
Okay, because I mean, I don't want everybody to be overstressed. And remember, everyone, while I'm thinking of it, you have travel money, you just can, but to get the travel money, you have to go through the IPM Institute, but we have got plenty of money for you to travel on. There is no reason, except for Paul and Wizzy, I have money for you to travel on.
Sounds good, Janet. Hey, just a quick question. You say one school district. Should I just start on Conroe first and work to others as I need to?
Yeah, it's either, I'm thinking Conroe for you, or if we didn't want to go that big, I could get you a smaller one.
Oh no, Conroe's fine because they're so close. I know the IPM coordinator pretty well, so that's not an issue.
Yeah, and I really do want Conroe's data, so.
Well, I'll just focus on them right now, and then we can work. Just get my feet wet with them, and then if we need to do a couple of others, then I'll have some practice already under my belt before I go to some of those other districts. Sounds good.
Okay. And Wizzy, I'll see you Wednesday and Thursday, and we can figure out which school you can play with.
Yes, ma'am.
Since yours isn't in public, I can't have you go pick on them. Although I know what one we'd like to investigate, but I don't want you to,
Let me know.
I don't want you to pull your hair out. I still love you. All right. Anything else? Oh, good question. I just got a chat from Walvogel. He's asking about pesticide licenses. Mike, I hadn't even thought about that. Yes, I would like to know if they're paying for their licenses and their training and stuff. So I may add one more question into this, you guys. That's what I need you people for. See, you're catching the stuff that I'm not catching.
You're wanting to know if the school district pays for their license?
Okay, for instance, Paul, Conroe, we know they've got 3 licensed applicators,
Yes.
at least 3. So we know that the district pays for their licenses and I believe for their CEU training.
I'm sure they do. I'll know Thursday when we have our grounds maintenance conference.
Yeah. Okay. I will add that in, y'all. I'll find a place to to put that question in on this survey. And we may just put it at the end only because that will, so Blake doesn't have a heart attack on me. But I will add that question to it so that we have one more piece of data for filtering. How's that?
And you'll let us know when you've done that so we can, I
Well,
know we were the group that jumped the gun and started deploying this when it was half done, right? But we're
okay,
being
Dawn.
enthusiastic.
I'm thinking you're going to need 3 gallons of coffee for this one.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
But at least you've started. I mean, and I've started halfway with Plano. It's just, you think you've got everything, and I swear to God, we just didn't even look at their licensing stuff. It was just like, oh yeah, we've already got this. You know? So yes,
Yeah.
but what I'll do is I'll send out another, I'll send out updated Excel spreadsheets.
Thank
And
you.
I should get that to you guys either later this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
Okay?
That's great. And we have a bunch of things coming up in the next month, so it'd be
Hey,
doable.
Janet, just go ahead and send out a copy of both of them together when you do that, so they'll be in the same email, and I won't, if you would not mind.
I don't mind at all, my friend. Okay. Anything else earth-shattering, world-moving that we need to know about? Well, then if the East Coast hasn't, drowned or anything, I guess we can let you guys go.
Okay.
Okay? And I will also, once this is done, we will place this up on YouTube, and I'll make sure that everybody has access to the YouTube as well.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Hey, Janet,
Hey, what?
Janet, before you get off, you said we use our computers. Will this be also to be used on iPad?
Should, as long as you've got access to Excel.
Oh, yeah, I've got access to Excel. I just wanted to make sure I would. It'd be a lot easier to take that iPad in there and talk to them and just save it and send it, to myself. So I'll try it. I've got both, but I'll try it too and see if it works well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have an iPad, so I couldn't go off on that one. But yes, as long as you have access to the internet, well, I guess you don't need access to the internet if you're working on Excel. But as long as you have the Excel spreadsheet in front of you, you should be able to use this anywhere.
Okay. I've got the app, so no problem.
Okay. All righty, everyone. Thank you so much.